The following is a presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Live from Mellow Mushroom in the Cornerstone District in Lynchburg, Virginia, the Liberty Flames football show is on the air. Your chance to hear from Liberty head football coach Jamey Chadwell comes your way on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. The Liberty Football Show is presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Start banking with Freedom First today. The Liberty Football Show is also brought to you by Carter Bank and Trust, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames athletics. Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Freedom Heating and Air, serving those who serve us. Carl Miller Realty, caring, competent, trusted advisors. Lynchburg Nissan, nobody beats our prices, nobody. Century Exteriors, experience and quality you can trust. Schedule a free estimate at centuryexteriors.com. And by Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter.
And history's made once again in Williams Stadium. The 2023 Conference USA champions, the Liberty Flames, beat New Mexico State 49-35.
Now let's talk Liberty Flames football. Here's your host, the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
And once again tonight, we broadcast live from Mellow Mushroom in Lynchburg. The Liberty Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell is on the air. Liberty 2-0 and a 1-0 in Conference USA after a 30-24 come-from-behind win at New Mexico State on Saturday. Liberty will be back at home, the first of back-to-back home games, to host UTEP in another Conference USA ball game on Saturday. That'll be at 6 o'clock. It's Hall of Fame weekend and a homecoming. And the first 3,000 fans through the gates get a replica 2023 Conference USA Championship ring, which we have here. We have a couple of them here, and we're going to have some fans ask some questions to Coach to have a random chance at winning one of these rings. Also got a lot of questions on social media. You can send a question to LFSN Radio on X. You can send us a Facebook post, facebook.com/LFSN Radio. A jam-packed show here tonight. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we'll hear some post-game comments from Quentin Reese, Quentin Cooley, play some radio highlights from that come-from-behind win against New Mexico State. And also, the fans, if you have questions for Coach, got a microphone here as well. But first off, our special guest, once again, head coach Jamey Chadwell. Coach, good to have you on here.
Glad to be on here. Thank you.
Great crowd on hand tonight.
Yeah,
I tell you what,
awesome.
This continues to grow here at Mellow Mushroom. Great staff, great food, some great soda pop as well. So, Coach, congratulations on the win. As I talked about, a lot to digest from that ball game, but you guys hit the practice field once again to prepare for UTEP. Just take us through the last 72 hours and what you've been up to.
Yeah, well, it definitely was a late night out there in Aggie land for sure. But after you get a chance to come back and we sort of decompressed from the trip because it was late. What time the game got over at, I think we, 2:30, whatever time it was, and so you get a chance to, you live through it, and then you get to watch it and see some things that you did well and see some things that you obviously need to improve on. But just very thankful that we won, obviously, but also just the character and the moxie and just the determination that the team showed. So it shows you it's there, the belief in each other's there. We've got to continue. We're a work in progress a little bit, as you know. You've watched us a couple times, and we've got to continue to find ways, maybe not to put ourselves in those situations and try to play better consistently throughout the game. But anytime you go on the road in conference, it's hard, and I've shared with you, we're a different team than we were, but everybody is put us on this pedestal to come after us, and I say in our league, and that's a hard deal. It's a hard thing to do. You gotta raise your standard consistently, and we're learning that. I think is a relatively new team and some of the things there. So, but always good to make mistakes and learn from them in wins.
After the game, your great social media team shot a video of you in the locker room. I have that audio. Are you okay if I share that with the fans here?
Sure.
It's about 60 seconds, and it was so poetic how you talked to the team in the locker room after the game. For those fans that have seen it, it's on our social media channels. But for those here tonight that are watching, that are listening, this is Coach Chadwell post-game from the win on Saturday night.
2 minutes, man. 2 minutes, I'll let you go. All right, hey, I'm going to tell you two truths. Two truths, okay? Your character, your striking ability as far as striking the stone. This was the perfect example of it. Perfect example, man. Nothing went our way. Nothing went our way. Defense. I don't know what got into you about halfway through the second quarter. But if that defense shows up all the time, watch out, right? Watch out. And offense. Might have not been pretty. But when we needed to finish, we finished. Hey, we played off each other, man. And listen, that's at the end of the day, when you play off each other and you keep working, you keep believing in each other, and you keep striking, if we can cut out that selfish stuff, we can continue to climb this ladder and this journey we're on. We can continue to run the race. Now, we didn't get to the finish line until the very last. Right. But you got there first. We crossed it. You got there first.
What's it?
2 minutes, man. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, man.
Coach Chadwell from post-game on Saturday. All right, let's start defense first. New Mexico State scores on their first 3 drives, Jamey, and after that, 7 straight defensive stops capped off by the scoop and score. I know you can't go into all the changes defensively, but what can you share defensively about how you shored things up there midway through that second quarter?
I think really it just came down to more of us just executing, what was called. We didn't really change up anything except the attitude changed, the mindset changed, and I think our defense knows they're capable of being pretty good. They've been told that, and I think we play like that sometimes, that we're just going to show up and these other people are just going, their defense is pretty good. We're not gonna, they come after us, and we gave up a screen. I mean, a huge play just because we didn't fit it right, when they score there, and some things that we allowed them to do that once we made our adjustments really just from an attitude and, hey, this is how we're going to play, they weren't able to do the rest of the time. And because of the way the defense played really the first quarter on, first maybe quarter and a half, I mean, they kept us in the game. They kept us in it. If they continued to play, that would have been a blown out. And they kept us in there. And so they're so capable of playing that way. And I'm not saying they're going to shut everybody out by any means, but we're so much better than giving up some of those easy plays that we gave up. Right? If you just tackle that guy and do some of those, we might have gave up 7 points the whole game, or maybe 10. And those are the things our guys have got to understand, is that you just can't relax. But the coaches did a good job of really getting into them there, between the first and second quarter, and they gave us momentum with the scoop and score. Right. They did give up the one drive there. There after we got back in the game, they gave the drive up, but. What I was just pleased with, that they just kept, all right, let's go back out there. Even when offensively we're struggling, they kept going back out there and they kept giving us a chance. And they said, hey, we're going to keep giving you a chance. And that's what you want to see. You want to see a team come together. You come together, as a team, as a family, through shared adversity. That's
Absolutely.
That's really when you see how strong that bond is, right? Mm-hmm. That's why sometimes marriages don't last, right? You go through some challenges and people don't want to fight through them together, and we fought through that together. And so we're capable of so much more. Now we got to obviously figure the rest out.
Joined by head football coach at Liberty, Jamey Chadwell. Liberty 2-0. They'll host UTEP on Saturday. You mentioned the scoop and score. Take us through what you saw. Quentin Reese with his blitz up the middle, collided with the quarterback. The ball's on the turf, and then it's things you work on in practice. Scooping and scoring, secure it first, and C.J. Bazell, 22 yards in the end zone.
Yeah, huge play. Well, I thought was a great job of disguising, right? And Q Reese did a great job of looking like he had the back, you know, and sort of did a little, and then boom, and the quarterback didn't see him. And then as a coach, you see it on the ground, you're you know, obviously you're struggling. I'm like, please pick it up and run it in. We need something. You know, don't make us snap it right now. You know that because, and they did a great job, and you know. To get that momentum there, I mean, it really gave us obviously a boost and an energy. But it's a huge play in the game, you know. I mean, the 2 plays in the game for me really, I thought, sort of, you know, help turn the tide or give us an opportunity. It was that play, and then the 62-yard punt that really flipped the field. Oh yeah, that led to that.
Max Morgan.
Yeah, and that's huge. Yep. I mean, you get a normal punt. They got the ball. That led to that, and that gave us that opportunity to really turn the tide during the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we'll talk about Max Morgan coming up in a little bit. One of your players of the week had a really nice night kicking the football. All right, 17-15, you decided to go for 2. Didn't get it, and then you mentioned they came right back and scored to go 20.
Which is a good answer by them. You know, they
right,
came right
absolutely.
Back.
They're up 24-15, 7:42 left. You get the ball back. Let's talk about the 2 rushing touchdowns Quentin had. You know, to me, it looked like identical plays. How much were those plays different? Because you sent Bentley Hanshaw, one of your tight ends, in motion, and you know, obviously Quentin got in the end zone. So how different were those plays?
They were the same exact call.
Okay,
actually, yeah, same exact call. We made the choice there with 7 minutes to go, 7:42. That hey, we're going to have to go into our 2-minute mode. Basically saying, hey, we're going to hopefully get a first down, and then we're going to try to line up fast and just go as quickly as possible, because at that point you're thinking, hey, we might get 2 possessions. That's it. You know, I mean, you might get the ball, you got to score potentially, and so we made that decision. And I think, you know, hindsight probably should have done a little earlier to give us a little bit more, you know, routine or get out of the we were in just a terrible. Trying to figure it out, just slugging along. Maybe I should have done earlier, but we did that, and I think it gave us a jolt because we were able to get some plays and line up, and didn't allow them to maybe get settled. And getting that big run there really was huge. And it was just a handoff up the middle, but we caught him in a little blitz, and Quentin did an unbelievable job of running through a tackle, and which he's good at. And you know, if you've noticed this year, he's quicker. Because he lost the weight, you know. I mean, he's still strong, but he's lost that weight, so he's quicker, so he's able to hit it a little quicker there. And, I mean, our sideline erupted, you know. I mean, all right, hey, we're back in it with, 4 or 5 minutes to go, something around there. Yeah,
5:12. And then you get a 3 and out. And if my memory serves me correct, they did a little screen play. Jerome Jolly ended up making the tackle.
Huge play.
And then forced the punt.
And that's when you're thinking timeouts and the 2-minute warning. Right. You know, that there was a lot of different things going into that, because I think we had 3 at that time frame. Yeah. And so that was a huge tackle, and I thought they were going to go for it there. It's 4th and 3.
Because they had all their other 4th downs they went for.
They did, you know, and so you're thinking, is he going for it or not? You know, you know, he kicked it to us, and I think there was, 2:20, 2:30 left, somewhere around there. And you got to make a play.
You're at the 10-yard line. Your 10-yard line. And Jason Porter, our radio analyst who's in the house here tonight, I said, you know what this reminds me of? John Elway back in the mid-'80s against the Cleveland Browns.
The drive.
And what number did John Elway wear? Number 7.
Number 7, yeah.
What number does Caden Sultan wear? Number 7. And you only had 1 third down conversion all night, and you waited to that last drive to get it. It was a big play, you know, scramble to the right for Caden. And then Trayon had a couple of good catches, and you get onto their side. When did you think it was time for that knockout punch with that second Quentin?
Well, you know, you're right there. I think the clock was stopped. I think they might have taken a timeout right there, right? They took a timeout. It's like 1:05 left, and it's 2nd down and 2 or something. And so we made the decision. All right, hey, we're gonna. We were already talking about our next play. We had run a couple plays, and we were coming back with a counter off the play we just ran. So we were setting it up. Hey, we're going to run this ball to the left, get the first down, and we're going to this play immediately. Right. And so that's why we ran that play. Just one, we felt it was a good play, get the first down, but we were trying to set up. We wanted the ball to be on a certain hash, and we were trying to set up this play that we felt would get us down closer to field goal range or hopefully a bigger play. And we caught them in a safety blitz. Yep. And our line did a fantastic job of shutting it off, and he made one move, and then pay dirt right there.
You go for 2. Reese Smith, hurt year ago. I've seen him in practice, Jamey. he just doesn't care about his body. He just will run into traffic and make catches. Mm-hmm. Made a great 2-point conversion. Take us through that route in the back right corner. It was a great throw by Caden to put you up by 6.
Yeah, it's a little high-low. You're sprinting out. You're trying to get out of the pocket. You're expecting some type of blitz. We bring some motion, to see if they're in man or what. And the one guy, I swear he looked like he ran the backfield. I thought he was offside. They obviously didn't call it. They only called it on us, it seems, right? But we had a little high-low sprint out, and that was they covered it decently. Reese had a little bit of step, and Caden threw a really nice ball. I mean, it was going to be either we catch it or it's going out of bounds. And to be able to catch that ball, what people don't realize, to be able to catch that ball and also get your feet down, that's hard to do when you're running that way. It's hard to do, but that's a huge play. Obviously, it puts you up 6, so that way if they score a touchdown, at least you got a chance to block an extra point. So, but just able to go 90 yards and under a little bit over a minute, I guess, minute 15 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And the way that game had gone, I mean, it looked like we were just, those last 2 drives, it looked like we were just the whole game. We were flowing that way, and it's amazing to see see it turn and our guys to have confidence in themselves. And what we were telling them, is, hey, we practiced this situation, which we practiced one very similar to that in a 2-minute situation where we needed a touchdown, and we were at about the 10-yard line and had to go that long to try to score. We practiced that before. Just remind them of it. Hey, we've done this before, and they were able to go make a play.
A couple of things I want to get your take on, Jamey, and we got a lot of questions piled up on social media. We're giving away Conference USA replica championship rings. If anybody's got a question for Coach, come on up to the microphone. We'll put you on. You're not going to interrupt us, so just we'll get them throughout the show, and we'll get your name and email address, and we'll randomly pick winners out for these rings. And we got some questions on social media for those tuning in tonight. We'll hit you up if you do win one of these rings. And a lot of them are about the 11 penalties, Coach. And I don't want to belabor it too much, but you addressed it in your media session here today. Some things that you're doing to address the penalties, and some are aggression, some are retaliation. Just your take on 11 in the first 2 games, and then I'm going to put that to bed.
Well, out of the 11, you've got on each game, so that's 22. So out of those 22, you have 6 that are personal fouls. So 6 out of 22, which is a high amount, obviously a high amount. And so you look at that, why they're occurring. I think I mentioned earlier in the first game we had 3, and they were all by guys that the very first time playing late in the game. And so you're like, okay, new guys maybe trying to, that's their opportunity. So you encourage some discipline, something, and then but this game was really frustrating because it was older guys who, and again, some guys, as I've said, the second person gets caught. But we don't need to be the second person, and it's guys that have played a lot of football that are unbelievable young men, and emotionally they want to do so well, but they let their emotions get the best of it. And so you have to, as a coach, you run some people, and that didn't do it. So now you have to do something else, and you can't take money, so you got to do the next best thing, right? So you take some playing time, and you hope it gets point across, not only for the people that do it, but also hopefully going forward. Hey guys, we can't get into that. Some of the calls, you get a hands to a face, that was a personal foul. That happens. I mean, we don't want to do that. That happens. So those are some, and you get some. We've had some pass interference called on us, and they're always 50-50. Some you can, those you have to live with sometimes. Now some of them might be good calls, some of them might be terrible, but the ones that you can control, like you have a false start, you have too many men on the field. Some of those things are what we can control. And those are the ones that we know absolutely have to get fixed, whether that's from a coaching error, from some of those things. But the personal fouls, it ends up being a selfish thing. Yeah. Because you're not thinking about your team and how this affects them. You're thinking only about yourself, and that's where the disappointment comes in. But our guys understand that, and it's not like I've shared. It's not like they want to be doing that, but they respond. And also, too, some of them shouldn't have been called. Truth be told, but they are. Right. I showed the team. I might have told you. I grew up on a farm, and so when you have farm, you have your cattle, you brand them. Okay. Right. You brand to mark who's yours. Right. And so we're branded now. Yeah. You know, we're brand. So every head coach in the league or anybody we're playing, they're going to tell those officials, hey, watch this number, because he's going to do this, he's going to do this. And I told the guys the only way that changes is if you stop, because right now that's what the brand is. And so we'll move forward from it. Hopefully it won't happen again. I can't guarantee it, but we'll figure it out if it does.
And Jamey, we all know, being a coach, playing in sports, life lessons are learned through sports, and they are going to learn a lot about this in their life, because life is not fair. And okay, do I retaliate because somebody did me wrong? And life lessons are going to learn too.
It is. Yeah, I shared with one of the young men. I said, hey, you're going to be in a situation where you worked your tail off for a promotion and you don't get it. And then emotionally you're going to be so upset you might quit, or you might say, I'm going somewhere else. Yeah. And I said, when that happens, you know, you might just be that close of really hitting something even better. Right. But it's all about how you respond to those moments. And so hopefully we will. I think people don't realize that it's still young people going through some different things, and sometimes when they get out there, the emotion of it carries a lot. There's some burdens there that they face, you know, and you don't. If you're watching from the outside, you might not know what they go through all the time, right? And so you have to. Yep. There's a balance there as a coach. You have to do as far as loving them and nurturing, but also, hey, there's consequences too, you know. Sir. And we're fortunate. We're fortunate that those didn't cost us a victory, you know. And at the end of the day, our job is to go out and obviously represent our university in the best class manner, but also win games. And thankfully we're doing that right now.
As I like to say, get in, get a win, and get out. And that's what Liberty did on Saturday at New Mexico State, 30-24. We're not going to turn the page quite yet on that ball game. In our next segment, we'll go over Coach's Flames of the Week and Players of the Game at New Mexico State. And then we'll let Coach catch up with his family a little bit, get some dinner. We'll hear some radio highlights of that win over the Aggies and some post-game reaction as well. And then coming up towards the top of the next hour, we'll get a quick take on UTEP as they come into Saturday's homecoming game 0-2 with an overtime loss at home to Southern Utah and a loss at Nebraska. We'll take our first timeout, our weekly radio show brought to you by Freedom First Credit Union. We'll continue after this timeout from Van Wagner.
What's important isn't that Freedom First has been in business since 1956. What's important is how we've been doing business since 1956. Since day one, we have been accountable to our members, not stockholders. We make loans that cost less, offer savings plans that pay more, and give back to our community, and that hasn't changed. What has changed is our ability to serve you with more locations and more technology to simplify your financial life. Freedom First. It's a place where anyone in our region can bank for good.
This August is Lynchburg Nissan's 27th anniversary. To celebrate, we're offering amazing and limited time savings. Save over $4,000 off MSRP on all 2024 Rogues in stock. These hot anniversary deals won't last long. Don't miss your chance to drive home in a brand new Rogue for less. Visit Lynchburg Nissan today, where 27 years of local service and community trust bring you the best deals of the year. Hurry, these savings end soon. Visit us online at lynchburgnissan.com.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels in the Liberty Flames.
Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. With a focus on honesty, education, and excellence, they light the way to savings, home comfort, and a greener future. Educating homeowners about the power of solar and energy efficiency is their winning game plan. Give Earthright Mid-Atlantic a call today at 434-200-9716 or visit erepower.com.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames Football Show presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
And welcome back to Mellow Mushroom here tonight. Good crowd on hand as we have our Liberty Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell, presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Good crowd on hand, and see a lot of pizza, a lot of wings and appetizers going on, and that's always a good thing here at Mellow Mushroom. Great staff as well. Liberty 2-0, 1-0 in Conference USA after a 30-24 win at New Mexico State. Liberty hosting UTEP for homecoming and Hall of Fame weekend. Do want to mention those Hall of Fame inductees. We've got a great dinner set for Friday night. Dre Barnes, football. Crystal Tharp-Bechtold, women's basketball. Chuck Birch, former athletics director. Keith Butler, baseball. Bill Gillespie, former strength coach. We all know Bill. Great guy. Can't wait to induct him on Friday. Jennifer Margraf, women's cross country, track and field. And Holly Van Noord, one of the best goalies in women's soccer history. They will be inducted, and a special ceremony on Saturday, so congratulations to them. Joined by head coach Jamey Chadwell. And, Coach, want to go over your we'll start with the Flames of the week this week, and we'll start with quarterback Jaden Bradford.
Yeah, so they're guys that, gave our guys good looks and got us prepared, obviously, for the game. Jaden's obviously the freshman quarterback that we brought in, and he's down there giving a good look for the show team. And Jaden's got tons of ability there where he's learning, he's growing what it takes to play at this level and the techniques and all those things. But he did a really nice job of giving our guys a really good look and preparing them for the offense. Defensively,
I can't wait to talk about Brenton Williams. I just want to get your thoughts on your defensive end. And he made a nice play in the second half.
He did, and so what's happening, with your Flames of the week, Brenton and a couple other guys that play in the game, they have to come down and give us good looks just from a rotation standpoint. So they might be down there 5-10 minutes with us and then back up with the defense. And he gave a fantastic look for us this week, and then he went out and played in the game, played, how many snaps he got, and played a really nice play and stuff too. And so, and it's a credit to those guys that can come down and give us, from an offense standpoint, give us a good look, but also still know what they need to do defensively and be ready for that. And then for him to be able to go and produce, in the game, you mentioned him, we played 9 D linemen, and that's a lot, and obviously losing one, that's a lot of guys that were able to play and stuff. But Brenton, hopefully, bright future for him. He's still a young guy, but he's getting better each week.
Every once in a while, we'll hit one right on the radio, and I heard he might get a little playing time, and I went back and watched his recruiting tape. One of the best recruiting tapes I've ever seen. I mean, he was just knocking guys out left and right. And as we were talking about that, the next play within seconds, Jamey, they ran to his side. He made the tackle. I'm like, every once in a while, we'll do it right on the radio. That was kind of cool. Special teams, Barrett Newman. Tell us about Barrett.
Yeah, Barrett gives a great look in all facets. Just a great young man, loves Liberty, and does it the right way on and off the field. And every practice, he's always ready to go and give a great look. And so from a special team standpoint, he might be running down on kickoff, and the next time might be on kickoff return, and might be trying to block a punt. And he's always going hard. He's always giving the best look to help our guys, get better and iron sharpen iron, so to speak. And that's what you want that show team to do. And he does a great job of doing that.
All right, so that's the Flames of the week. Your players of the week: T.J. Bush, true sophomore, career high 8 tackles. A lot of people are saying that sack he had at the end of the second quarter kind of propelled you into halftime and really got things kind of solidified there defensively.
Yeah, TJ, obviously burst on the scene last year. We needed him to play a position of need and end up having obviously a great year. And I think anytime you go into that next year and you have these expectations, because he was a freshman All-American, right? And you have these expectations. He's capable of dominating a line of scrimmage and being a high level defensive end. And he's each week, he played well last week, but this week when we really need him to step up, he's able to do that. And where he's really improved is he's a force in the run game, but really improving that pass rush and getting after the quarterback. And he plays with a great motor, and we're thankful we have him.
And he's changed his number to number 3. I don't know what it is about the D linemen, but they like the single digits. Jamey.
Yeah. They think it makes them look skinny and stuff, but they all love it. They all love them.
All right, Quentin Cooley, 12 carries, 111 yards. Couple of touchdowns. He was a big play offensively there.
Yeah, I mean, huge. You go in at halftime and he had 3 touches. And as a coach, you're scratching your head and you're going, hey, that's just not wise and that's not smart. Part of that we weren't executing at a great level, and part of it also is part of its plan, not necessarily maybe that limited, but part of it you're trying to keep him and Billy. You're trying to keep them healthy for a long season, right? Last year they got beat up some and missed some time, so you're trying, all right, hey, what's the best way to keep both of those guys healthy for the longevity of the season, But when we needed him to make some plays and do what he does, he was able to do that. I mean, when you had 12 carries for over 100 yards, that means you hit some big ones, and where he's phenomenal as he just runs through so many arm tackles and some of those things, and we got to do a better job of getting him maybe the ball more in certain other situations, but when he needed to show up, he did.
And our final player of the week, Jamey, your punter, Max Morgan, 44 yards per punt, had a longest 62, and you mentioned that one. That was a big change of momentum.
It was, thing that people don't realize about Max as well, that's huge. He also was our holder. So
and Colin Carter, you had 3 field goals.
So he's our holder. There's a lot that Max does, but when we needed him, you're punting more, and you hope you have to, But when we needed him, I think he averaged 44 yards per punt.
Yeah,
and that's huge. But that 62 one really flipped the field and gave us an opportunity because we were backed up, and I think it was a 3 and out, and if you kick it to the 50, they're right in field goal range, and maybe they end the game. And that came at the right time, and a huge game for him, and just the confidence that he gives Colin, our kicker, just knowing that, hey, he's going to hold the ball well and do what he needs to do. So we're thankful that obviously he's here.
All right, Coach, we're going to get some fan questions real quick. Again, these fans that have submitted questions are going to be entered into a random drawing for a replica 2023 Conference USA championship ring. 3,000 of these will be given out at the gates on Saturday. Fans in Mellow Mushroom, if you want a chance to win one, the microphone is open. So whenever you want to come up, we will see you. Just come up and do it. First one is going to be from Anthony on Facebook. Coach, favorite song to listen to before a game?
I don't necessarily listen to music before the game that much. I'm probably a little unique in that way. But if I am listening to something, it's going to be some type of Kenny Chesney or country or a little Jimmy Buffett. Typically.
Oh yeah,
just to keep me relaxed a little bit. I'm been listening to some Morgan Wallen lately, so a little bit of that too.
Awesome. All right, Brittany also asked, any game day superstitions for you?
I try to do the same thing every game day, and whether that's I've got a pair of socks that my daughter gave me, so I always try to wear those, and she's right over there.
Awesome.
And it's got her picture on it, so I try to wear those.
Yeah.
And I won't talk about any other undergarments, but that and just make something similar, whether it's whatever I'm eating or where I'm sitting, like. Coaches at home games, we sit a certain spot.
Okay.
At away games, we sit a certain spot.
Got it.
And so making sure that we do that.
Yeah.
And little things. So I tell, not super, but maybe a little sicious, right? One of those.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. All right, Coach, we're going to go into the audience real quick. Kathy has a question, then we'll let you go for some dinner.
As alumni, we are so dedicated to our Flames. But when you change from school to school to school as a head coach, it's hard. How do you change your allegiances like that? And do you keep up with your East Tennessee State where you went to school?
Oh wow, that's a good question. I'll tell you, Kathy, it's not easy if you've invested where you're at, and you've put roots in and you've watered. It's not easy to leave, and even though you do leave, it doesn't mean that maybe your heart's completely at your new place. It does take a while. I'll be honest with you, it takes a while. Because you put so much in the other places. And so that's part of the profession you're in. It happens. And the way it happens so quick, it's hard to really be able to talk about those emotions because when you come here, nobody wants to hear about Coastal Carolina, right? When you go somewhere else, nobody wants, vice versa. And nobody at Auburn wants to hear about Liberty, right? And so that's hard because you don't get a chance to maybe get the emotions out of the place that you're at, you cared for. But I do keep up with the Bucks, you know, and I don't get obviously a chance to go down there much, but I do I always check their score, you know, from how they do, and I always want them to do well from that standpoint. But it's not easy. Not easy on family as well, you know, when your family invests a lot of time into places, and when you get up and move them, they don't get to move friends, you know. Coaches, you get to bring people with you. Families don't, and that's a hard thing. You know, it's a challenging thing, and so it takes you a while to find your roots at your new place. Don't mean you're not excited about it, but it takes a while for your heart to settle and not say cut off of the other place, but just let some of those emotions go, because you have to keep it in at your new place. I think when I first came here, I had a shirt underneath I was wearing. It looked teal, and everybody was ripping me because I had teal on, right? And so that was probably you, Kathy. And so my point is, right, that, I mean, I got teal shoes that I'd love to wear. I can't wear them, you know. And so, but little things like that you think about, right? And so it's not an easy thing. But after you're here a while, after you get settled, then those feelings, those emotions, they're not near as strong, you know, and they start to go away. Maybe not the care and their memories, but not the connection's not there anymore. So you continue to go.
All right, great question, Kathy. Now she is registered to win. Need your email address, and then we will randomly draw a winner. All right, Coach, we're behind a time. I'm going to let you go. Caleb, we'll get to the question in a minute. We're behind letting you get to your food. So we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll hear some post-game stuff from Saturday, and then Coach, around 7, will bring you back up here to wrap things up. Our show brought to you each and every week by Freedom First Credit Union. We're live tonight at Mellow Mushroom in Lynchburg talking Liberty football, and we'll have more of our show coming up after this timeout from Van Wagner.
At Carter Bank & Trust, we believe in a life lived full of plans, promise, and continuous growth. It's why our checking and savings accounts make it easy for you to earn high interest on your balance, so your money grows faster, all backed with the digital banking tools you need, so there's nothing holding you back from living life to the fullest. Open your new Carter Bank checking or savings account online in minutes at cbtcares.org or visit your local branch. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Athletics, member FDIC.
Curious about the Central Virginia housing market? Carl Miller Realty are your caring, competent, trusted advisors for real estate sales in Central Virginia. With over 100 years of combined experience, they are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Thompson Brooks Insurance has been serving Virginia for over 40 years, helping individuals and businesses with their insurance and investment needs. The team at Thompson Brooks is experienced in understanding life and health insurance, Medicare, and retirement planning. Thompson Brooks Insurance can be reached at 434-385-8500 or online at thompsonbrooksinsurance.com. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow.
Century Exteriors offers exterior home renovations, including but not limited to gutters, roofing, siding, home additions, and much more. Century Exteriors makes the process seamless. Call 434-239-6722 for a free on-site estimate or visit centuryexteriors.com and Century Exteriors on Facebook and Instagram. Century Exteriors is a proud supporter of Liberty Flames Athletics.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Welcome Welcome back inside Mellow Mushroom tonight. The pizzas are flowing here in this place, and so are the Liberty fans. It is jam-packed in here as we talk Liberty football. The 2-0 Flames back at home on Saturday against UTEP, 6 o'clock kickoff. There's a lot going on Saturday. Hall of Fame weekend, homecoming parade. Replica championship rings will be given out to the first 3,000 fans. Again, you still have 20, 25 minutes or so here at Mellow Mushroom if you want to be entered into a chance to win one of these rings. We've got 4 of them, and one of them will go out to our social media listeners. We got a number of questions lined up there, and we'll randomly draw names in the office and get these championship rings out to you. And they're nice. They're not plastic. They are nice replica rings that were given out to the team during the offseason. So that's going on Saturday. Weekend after that, East Carolina. That is also a 6 o'clock kickoff. And I got an update from Robert Goodman, who is holding court here in Mellow Mushroom. Robert handles all of our external marketing, tickets and radio and TV and social media, all that stuff. He told me there are less than 400 tickets out for the East Carolina game. And the Pirates playing good football. East Carolina hosts Appalachian State coming up this weekend. And then Liberty in a couple of weeks will head out to the high country to play Appalachian State. Anybody remember that game from 10 years ago, 2014? That was an incredible win for Liberty in Boone over Appalachian State. And but first things first, Liberty and UTEP coming up on Saturday. Don't forget the Fan Fest. Will start at 3:30 in the indoor practice facility. The team walk, the Flames will walk right through there and give some high fives to everybody. The band will be there, the cheerleaders. And a great way to really get your homecoming weekend started after the homecoming parade, of course. All right, let's rehash a little bit from Saturday night. Liberty wins at New Mexico State 30-24. Coming up, we'll hear post-game comments from Quentin Cooley and Quentin Reese about that game and how it unfolded. And time now to hear some radio highlights from that game, and then we'll have the post-game reaction coming up on the tail end of that.
Hey, Q, congrats on the win. Wow, what a finish. I mean, it just felt like nothing could be established consistently there for a while. But, I mean, you guys just kept striking the stone, right? Keep pounding away late in the ball game, and then those big plays just opened up for you. What really got you guys going there late when you needed it?
What really got us going was our defense. Our defense, they played a hell of a game, honestly. They had us on their back, and just being able to be there with them, they kept giving us chances. We drive the ball, they go back out and do the same thing. So just doing there and just being there for our teammates and really just hopping on the piggy ride with our defense, to be honest. And also just keeping our team encouraged. Their student section was wild, and just keeping our team up and just keep going and keep going. Our defense was even just y'all good offense, we got you. So the communication over there was excellent, and just staying up with each other.
I saw you going around encouraging guys too as the game went on. The O-line, the defensive guys. How important is it for you as a captain, as a leader, to make sure that you're keeping those guys up?
It's very important because my teammates voted on me to be a captain in a certain way. So just being that leader for them has also been great, because just seeing me stay in my composure is also helping them stay their composure and just keep it going, just to show people we're not out of this game. We're still good. We good. Now just stay together. That's what we did. We stayed together. We made sure that we was good. Yeah, we started out sloppy, but we finished really great.
All right, take me back to the 2 runs. The first one you break off there with about 5 minutes to go. Take me back to that one first.
It was a play. It was just a downhill play. I read the block off Jay White and them, and it just opened. And after that, I just turned it on. Really, it just went and I scored. I really just scored, and I had to stay. I didn't want to celebrate. I just wanted to keep my composure because we were still down and just saying that. But it was amazing. Our O-line, they really set the standard of striking the stone at the end. I wish it was earlier, but at the end, they really set the standard of striking the stone, getting the hose open, and hose was wide open, and that's what happened.
That second touchdown run there, the one to put you guys on top.
The second touchdown, just really my O-line. If you go back and look, the hole was huge. The hole was huge, and I hit it real fast downhill. No, like, trying to look at it. I saw the hole, and I went. And after that, I just really trusted myself outside in the open field just to go score, and then that's what I did.
Was there anything they did early that bothered you guys, bottled you up a little bit? It seemed like Caden kind of got bottled up on something where he was trying to get to the outside like he normally does. If there was, what were you guys able to do to counter that late?
Their defense was really good. They tried to keep it in the box with one linebacker out, but they tried to keep it in one linebacker. They tried to force it back to the other linebacker that's outside, so in certain ways. But it was a hard-fought game. The defense really dialed up. The defense coordinator really dialed up different things, and their players really played great. It was just Liberty was being Liberty, to be honest. If you go, look at our stacks, I bet if we moved the ball pretty well, we just could not finish. And that's on us. We just couldn't finish at all. And I'm not saying, New Mexico's defense wasn't good. They was really good. It's a really good team out there. But we finished in a different way. But they stopped us. They had wins after wins after wins after wins. And that's what really made the factor of our defense, because our defense had wins after wins. And it all played the factor of who offense or who defense was going to come up with a stop. And it was just us at the end of the day.
That's a great way to sum it up, because you guys were outgaining them pretty much the whole game. Outgaining them, out-rushing them, pretty much everywhere that you can look. It's just the points weren't there. The Reds, if you guys can start to finish some of those drives, is it encouraging when you look at it like that and say, hey, there's still a whole nother level that we can get to?
Yes, it's very encouraging, because we know what type of offense, we know what type of team that we are, and just to play up to that standard. And we didn't play up that standard tonight, and just seeing that stuff, we know what we can do. We have to finish, and, we have to, going down there, that's losing the game if you don't finish some drives. Imagine if our defense didn't play well. We would have lost this game. And just piggybacking on our defense again, it's just a blessing to really have, defensive players like that really play the game and that wanted to be in that situation. That's what it did.
Do you appreciate the time? Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Quentin, congratulations. Man, what a ball game here. You talk about snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. This defense, though, get off to a sluggish start the way you did and respond. What changed? What clicked?
Just what we were playing for. We had to really realize who we were playing for, and all we needed is what we had at the moment, which was us. And just buying into each other really made us just lock in. And once the game kept going and going, we just kept playing and playing, and we just got better and better, which is our word of the week, which is growth. So just being able to see that just gave me more confidence for the weeks to come.
Coach Chadwell was pretty fired up at halftime at the way the defense came out, and said that the way that you guys finished the half is how you should be playing the entire game.
Exactly.
What do you see out there in those first couple of drives?
I just feel like we weren't really settling our feet, just playing the football we know we should play. But once we got our feet settled, it's our standard defense. But we got to make that the standard the whole game, not just 3 quarters, 2 quarters, or 3.5 quarters. It got to be all 4 plus more. So.
Felt like the game plan tonight was to really try to bottle up their run game, make them one-dimensional, make them have to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you guys ever got to a point where you were doing that?
Yeah, towards the end, I feel like, it's never just going to be established that they're not going to run it. We just got to make sure we keep doing our job and play sound football, because it's football. Any given play, anything could happen.
You had maybe the biggest momentum play of the night with the forced fumble, and then CJ picks it up and scores. I think it kind of gave everyone hope that you guys can win the game. Did you feel that too?
Yes, sir. I felt that too, but also couldn't settle on that play. And you have to know that play meant nothing in the grand scheme of things, because we had to go win the game. It would mean nothing if I made that play and we didn't win, you know what I mean? So just knowing to keep striking and just play the next play, it kept us right the whole night.
What did you see on that play? Take me back through it.
First off, I heard the call and I got excited because I knew what was coming. And I just saw the O-line open up and the quarterback, and it was just me and him. And it was just my turn to make a play.
It's late. It is a late night. How did you feel at points during the game? Did it feel like it's as late as it is, or when you're out there and you're just playing, is it just another game?
Yeah, it felt like Friday Night Lights. We were just out there having fun, and the adrenaline was going. You didn't really think too much about it. And our coaches did a great job preparing us to play this late. We practiced a little later throughout the week, so it really wasn't a big difference for us, and it just kept us ready to play throughout any circumstances.
Where were you when Quentin Cooley broke the game-winning touchdown run there?
I'm on the sidelines like, guys, get up, let's watch this. Come on, root him on. And then once he hit it, it was like, all right, let's go stop him. Because once they score, we're back up on defense. It's our turn to make sure that we keep the offense right.
What can you guys take away from this and learn from? You want to learn valuable lessons in wins, not losses, but there's a lot of things you guys can take away from this and say, boy, we almost beat ourselves tonight.
One thing is I feel like we're fire tested, and that's going to pay off later on in the season. We get in those close games or hard games, but we just can't keep beating ourselves with little penalties, selfish penalties and stuff. We're too good of a team to let ourselves beat ourselves.
Quentin, appreciate the time. Go get some sleep.
Appreciate you. Have a great night. Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
3rd down 7. Empty backfield for Awad. Snap back to number 15. 4-man rush. TJ Bush has him at the 12 and supplants him down to the artificial turf. Salutes the far sideline, and the Flames will hold after that 3rd down sack. 2 give back by TJ Bush, brought to you by Food Lion.
TJ Bush adjusted his stance just
Mexico State 3 of 12 on 3rd down. The Flames have another stop in them. They've had 6 straight defensive stops. Here comes Quentin Reese on the blitz, and oh my God, he's hit! The ball is up, and it's being taken back by C.J. Bazell! Light him up! Touchdown, Liberty! Quentin Reese just blew up that play! Parker Awad fumbled it, and C.J. Bazell scooped it and scored!
Unbelievable play dialed up there by Quentin Reese to cause that fumble.
2nd down and 3 at the Aggie 27-yard line. Liberty down by 9, 5:22 left. Salter gets a handoff, hands off Cooley up the middle. Big hole, breaks free. 10, 5, light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. 28-yard run by Quentin Cooley with 5:12 left. Snap back to Awad. Blitz comes. Screen play set, and it's going to be stuffed out at the Liberty 47-yard line. Jerome Jolly staying at home, and it's going to be 4th down. Look at the Flames defensive coaches across the way. They are so hyped up right now. Flames need to pick up another 15 to 20 yards to get in his range. Down by 2 with 1:12 left. Touchdown certainly would be even better. 2nd down and 2 from the Aggie 43. Handoff to Cooley up the middle. He's breaking free to the 15, the 10. Light up. Touchdown, Liberty. And the Flames take the lead with 1:05 left.
The Aggies brought a blitz, and they paid for it dearly. Cooley up the middle. Going for 2, looks like A1.
Yep, Caden Salter in the shotgun. Cooley to his right, going for 2. Snap to Salter, sprints to his right, throws end zone, and it's going to be caught! 2-point conversion! In the back right corner, it's Reese Smith.
What a ball game Reese Smith is having.
Woo! How about that for the West Virginia transfer? 2-point conversion. 4th and 25. Here's the ball game. 36 seconds left. Liberty up 30-24. Awad in the shotgun. 3 receivers left, 2 to his right. Flames have about 8 defensive backs in the secondary. Awad from the end zone throws it downfield, and it's going to be incomplete. And the Flames will turn it over on downs. And never have we had such a sweet kneel down in victory formation. The Flames coaches to our right. Jubilation, excitement, exhaustion, everything. But they did it. And that they did. Liberty wins at New Mexico State 30-24. We're going to take another timeout here. And I'm going through our Facebook questions. There are some very unique questions from our fans here tonight. Those that have followed us on our social media channels and have submitted questions will be entered into a random drawing for one of our 4 Conference USA championship game replica championship rings. And again, a couple more minutes of our show. We're going to take a timeout. If you have a question for Coach, I know Caleb, he's waited with bated breath to ask Coach a question. 2 more minutes, Caleb, 2 more minutes. All right, we'll take our final time out of our show. Coming up next, we'll recap, get some more questions and get Coach's thoughts on UTEP, and then put a bow on this one. You're listening to the Liberty Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell, presented by Freedom First Credit Union, live at Mellow Mushroom on Van Wagner.
At Carter Bank and Trust, we believe in a life lived full of plans, promise, and continuous growth. It's why our checking and savings accounts make it easy for you to earn high interest on your balance, so your money grows faster, all backed with the digital banking tools you need. So there's nothing holding you back from living life to the fullest. Open your new Carter Bank checking or savings account online in minutes at cbtcares.org or visit your local branch. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Athletics, member FDIC.
Curious about the Central Virginia housing market? Carl Miller Realty are your caring, competent, trusted advisors for real estate sales in Central Virginia. With over 100 years of combined experience, they are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Thompson Brooks Insurance has been serving Virginia for over 40 years, helping individuals and businesses with their insurance and investment needs. The team at Thompson Brooks is experienced in understanding life and health insurance, Medicare, and retirement planning. Thompson Brooks Insurance can be reached at 434-385-8500 or online at thompsonbrooksinsurance.com. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow.
Century Exteriors offers exterior home renovations, including but not limited to gutters, roofing, siding, home additions, and much more. Century Exteriors makes the process seamless. Call 434-239-6722 for a free on-site estimate or visit centuryexteriors.com and Century Exteriors on Facebook and Instagram. Century Exteriors is a proud supporter of Liberty Flames Athletics.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Right back inside Mellow Mushroom tonight for our final few minutes of our weekly Liberty Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell, presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Liberty and UTEP from Williams Stadium Saturday night, 6 o'clock under the lights. Homecoming, Hall of Fame weekend. Can't wait to see everybody out at Williams Stadium. All right, Coach, we're going to go back to the audience real quick. Caleb has a question, and again, for those asking questions, social media, in-house, write your name down, email address. You'll be entered for random drawing for one of the Conference USA replica championship rings. Caleb, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing great, Alan. How are you?
Doing good. What's up?
Coach, it was a pretty late kickoff over here on the East Coast. How are you guys able to kind of prepare for that, knowing it's only a couple of days with the trip, so you don't really have that much time to get acclimated to the time change? And then also, how much does that actually play into the effort that's being put forth in the game?
It's hard to prepare for it. You can't have a practice at 10:30 at night because of classes and different things like that. So we did practice later at night on a Thursday night. Well, I think we actually had a practice at 8:15, and then once we got out there on Friday, we actually practiced at 8:15 again, which was 10:15 our time. So we were hoping our guys being up later would have them acclimated to at least the time a little bit from that standpoint. Your adrenaline's going, so you're going to be in the game, obviously, because your adrenaline's up. But I do think it's hard, especially when you're playing that late. We're also practicing in the morning, so most of our guys' bodies are used to performing at an earlier time frame, right? And so there's a challenge to that. Now, we told our team up front there was not going to be any excuse. We weren't going to use one no matter what happened. But it is challenging that early in the season to travel out there. It's a 4-hour trip, and that 2-hour time difference is a big deal. So it just throws off your whole routine of what you're normally used to. And that's typically 4 hours later than the latest kick we typically have, Right. So it wasn't easy, but thankfully we found a way to get it done.
All right, thanks, Caleb. All right, behind Caleb, who we got? Real quick, what's your name and what's your question for Coach?
Oh, yes, sir. My name is Solomon Park.
All right, Solomon, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Coach Chadwell, good to see you again. And great win against New Mexico State. It was pretty intense. So after the start of the game, what needs some improvement on the offensive line to get ready for the next game? I know you're going to face against UTEP, so what needs some improvement so that way you'll have a better offensive line?
Okay.
It's a good question. The challenge up there is we've had some moving parts with injuries and different things, and it takes a while for guys to gel up there. And our biggest challenge up front there is we just got to be consistent. We're not going to win every block that never happens, but we're just inconsistent. We'll have a guy not go the right way, and then the next play it might be somebody else. And that's caused us to put us in some bad situations. And we have to be better, and I say we up front, we have to be better just on a first down and not to be second long all the time. And sometimes that can be a play call, but a lot of times it might be us not executing the way we need to. So our execution up there has to be better. But it's so hard, with trying to get 5 guys to play in one. That's not an easy thing to do, especially if you have guys that hadn't played as much, with each other. And so it's going to take us a little while there, but we've made progress from 1 to 2. Hopefully we'll continue to get better. Good question. Thank you.
Play on the next game.
Yes, sir. And one final question from the audience, Coach, and then we'll get to UTEP. Hi.
Yes, I'm Jim Jones.
Hey, Jim.
This question's really just a joke in light of our super year last year. Suppose this year you go 12-1 instead of 13-0. And suppose you're a contender for a bowl game is a Power 4 team that's 6-6 instead of a legitimate contender for the national championship. Is your job in jeopardy?
Depends on what social media I guess you're on. So from that standpoint, depends on, right, Kathy? So it's probably
that was a joke.
Yeah. Right. So I appreciate that. Yeah.
All right, Coach UTEP comes in 0-2, but you stated in your media session today they had over 40,000 at the Sun Bowl on Saturday. Nebraska holds 90+. So they're not going to come into Williams Stadium intimidated by any stretch. And they've got a new coaching staff. And just your take on UTEP, and we'll let you go.
Yeah, they do have a new coach, so they've brought a renewed energy and enthusiasm. I think you can see that how they're playing. They've obviously, Nebraska, you really can't count that one, but Southern Utah, they really had that game in hand, and penalties allowed the other team to get back in, and so they're still finding their way, but their schemes, they're really crazy offensively. They're going to do a lot of different stuff, and so it makes you have to just make sure you're sound, and then defensively they give you a lot of different looks, and they play hard. And I mentioned earlier today, he's not necessarily starting over. They brought tons of players from his previous place because they were all at FCS, so they wanted to go to FBS. So he's got starting offensive line, starting quarterback, starting run back, starting receivers, and on defense they got starting defensive lines. They got starters at every position that was won a lot of games at FCS, and they brought them to there. So it's not like he's starting brand new with a whole new team. So they're ahead from a standpoint of what their offense and their defense implementation is. Like a lot of those guys already know it, right? And so then also, what I think is where there's an advantage when you come in and bring that many people, they know how to practice and what the expectations are. So to me, they're ahead, and they might not have showed on the game Saturday, but they're ahead of what a normal 1 year would be when you're starting new, especially taking over a rebuild, right?
Yes, sir.
But we'll have to play well. Maybe some rain. There's supposed to be some rain earlier in the day. Maybe there's some rain during the game. We'll have to do really well. We'll have to play well and play consistent, right? One of the things that we can't give up defensively, they're going to find ways to get big plays. We got to keep them in front of us and make them see if they can earn it on our guys over and over. And then offensively, we can't do the foolish things and put ourselves behind the 8 ball. We're not going to score every time as much as I want to. But we just can't have the drop passes. If you go back and look, we had the drop passes. It was either a first down or a touchdown. Right. And maybe you're not even in these situations, right? And those are things that we're fighting through right now. And we need to find our way from an offensive standpoint where we're playing efficiently and playing together for all four and not, look like $1 million on one drive and then look like we couldn't, play dead in the other for a little bit. So, but we have to be ready to play. Look, they're coming. They're excited. They've not got. First of all, they've not played a conference game, so they got a chance to be 1-0 in the conference. Right. So I mean, they know that, right? And so we got a chance to be 2-0. So it's a big deal.
All right, Coach. Appreciate the time. Can't wait for Saturday. Flames.
Flames.
That's head coach of the Flames, Jamey Chadwell, here tonight at Mellow Mushroom. Thanks for his time here tonight, each and every show, and good to see his family out and spend some time with them as well during the show also. Don't forget, Saturday night, UTEP, 6 o'clock kickoff. Our pregame radio show comes your way at 4:30 on our statewide Journey Network. We're also going to be on Facebook and the Liberty Flames mobile app. Download that app if you haven't gotten the app yet. A lot of great stuff to keep you updated on the Flames. And homecoming, Hall of Fame weekend, a lot of great stuff going on the Liberty campus. A number of people to thank here tonight. Jamie Hall, our video producer, Cody Whitman, our on-site engineer, and our great work by our Liberty live production staff as well, getting us on the air here at Mellow Mushroom. And, of course, the great crowd on hand continues to grow and grow and grow. We'll be right back here next week at 6 o'clock to talk Liberty Flames football. For the head coach, Jamey Chadwell, I'm Alan York. Have a great rest of your week. We will talk to you Saturday from Williams Stadium, Liberty, UTEP, on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
You've been listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. The Liberty Football Show was presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Start banking with Freedom First today. The Liberty Football Show was also brought to you by Carter Bank and Trust, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames Athletics. Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Freedom Heating and Air, serving those who serve us. Carl Miller Realty, caring, competent, trusted advisors. Lynchburg Nissan, nobody beats our prices. Nobody. Sentry Exteriors, experience and quality you can trust. Schedule a free estimate at sentryexteriors.com. And by Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow. The Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union, has been an exclusive presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.